Hi, Julia.
Hi, Aya, how you doing?
Just fine. Might be having some technical problems, but everything is great. Did you have a wonderful day today?
It was nice, yeah. No complaints. It was fun.
Good, good. So, I want to congratulate you on your birthday that recently happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about my birthday, and it was fun the day of. I think I'll be honest, I had more fun on Friday with my sister. That was a lot of fun. I did some things I thought I would never do or thought of doing. Like she's like, "Let's get a pedicure," and it was fun. I usually want to do something like that, but it was a lot of fun. But I was so squirmy in the chair. Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad you had that experience, and I did get to see your pedicure on, I think it was Instagram, was it? Or
I put it on Instagram and I put it on YouTube, but YouTube's kind of weird
okay,
lately. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so next week I'm going to be a guest on your show, and I'm going to be reviewing a movie that I saw, which was Where the Crawdads Sing.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly enough, there was some stuff there that that actually related to art. So I'm not going to talk about the plot, the emotional roller coaster kind of
Yeah.
thing. I'll do that on your show. But
Okay.
I thought, just as a sort of preview, tonight I will share some images I found on the web having to do with the art part of the um, the movie that they recently made.
That's
On
really cool. Wow. It makes me actually kind of want to go see it if there's an art part. I'm kind of interested.
Okay, so let me see if I have any problems sharing the video file that I want to share with you. It's only a video file because that's the easiest way for me to share pictures. It's really just not a movie, it's a picture, but
Okay.
okay. So let me see if I can find that and share it with everybody. Okay, and I'll explain what that is if it doesn't cause any problems with audio.
Okay.
So basically in the story, let's go back a little so I can talk about this. In the story, at the very beginning, the heroine is a little girl and they show her during her happy times with her family of origin. And and her mother seems to be a painter. You can see the mom is painting, and the
That's
little girl is also painting alongside her mom in a sort of idyllic situation. Um, and everything's great. So later, the girl is alone and she loves animals and she loves painting or drawing all sorts of creatures. You can see one here that she did.
mhm.
This is taken from clips from the movie. Um, I believe it's fair use since I'm just talking about it a little bit.
I mean, it's actually kind of beautiful, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, all
it
of
looks
that is very beautiful. So
beautiful.
that's that's why I enjoyed the movie. I loved the background. I thought it was very well made, and I loved the part where, she is making images of all these creatures. And of course, because it's a story where stuff that's kind of unbelievable happens, she actually sends these pictures these images that she made to a publisher, and they published several books of her drawings. Now, you and I know that in real life that doesn't usually happen, but we can dream, right?
It's kind of like suspending belief, I suppose. But they're very beautiful. I do love these images.
Yeah, they are. But that is not all that I found. What I found was that the woman who made the movie um, actually based it on some of the artwork of a real artist. Um,
Oh,
so it says here, Art of the Carolina Low Country. Paintings by South Carolina artist Alice Ravenel Huger Smith. I may be mispronouncing her name, but anyway, she lived from 1876 to 1958, and it's from the Johnson collection, and it will be shown in the major motion picture where the Crawdads sing, the film adaptation of the New York Times best-selling book of the same name by Delia Owens. And this showing of these of this art by Alice Ravenel Smith that opened July 15th of this year, and it's still open. I believe they will close it only in October.
Oh,
October 8th is the last date. So if
okay.
you happen to
To
be
go.
in that area and you are wanting to know what the film's director Olivia Newman used for her inspiration, then you can see the swamps and everything in the paintings of Alice Ravenel Huger Smith. And we have some pictures from that here. It's called Nature I Loved, July 13th through October 8th. Although she rarely ventured beyond the low country of South Carolina, Alice Ravenel Huger Smith can hardly be described as provincial. What she lacked in formal art education and worldly exposure, she compensated for with native enthusiasm and innate talent. Descended from venerable Charleston families, Smith was instrumental in the city's artistic reawakening during the early 20th century. An active contributor to Charleston's cultural development, she was involved in historic Charleston Foundation, Carolina Art Association, Music and Poetry Society, and she experimented with various mediums. Okay. Uh, she produced architectural drawings of historic homes, and look at this. Look at some of these beautiful, beautiful
Oh,
paintings.
wow. Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
really beautiful. Her land and leaves, like she did nature studies of the that's like
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So, um, I think that's interesting. So, if it seems to me that some of the pictures that we saw in the movie were actually by this artist, and she's a real artist who actually existed.
that's really cool. I'm glad that you did some like research and you told us about that. That's exciting.
Yeah, so I think I can unshare that now. And it's just you and I, and yeah, so I thought that was very interesting. And whatever we may think about the novel, which I have not read, the movie, which I will give you a review of, I
Okay.
do think those are beautiful paintings.
I just want to reiterate there are movies that I watch where I might not love like the plot, but the cinematography might be beautiful. It might be a work of art. I think there can be things you can take from a movie, even if you don't like certain aspects of the movie. Although I haven't seen this movie, so I can't comment on that. So I think it's really neat to know that there is an art aspect to this movie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that I'm going to be much more interested from here on in movies and television shows that have an art element in them.
It kind of makes me think about it too, because there's certain movies where you'll see somebody painting, and now I'm kind of curious about like looking up like who was the artist that painted that, and why did they put that particular painting in the movie. It kind of makes me look at movies in a different way.
Right. Yeah. I started doing that with the Korean shows. When I review the ones that have to do with art, I start to look up who was the real artist.
Yeah, you did that with our review of It's Okay Not to Be Okay, where you talked about the book and the illustrations. So I think that's really neat.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that, and I hope some of our audience will as well. I didn't have a chance. I was having all sorts of technical difficulties as usual, so I didn't have a chance to share this.
I need to
Um,
share it, so let me go do that. Let's see, I'm gonna share it. I'll do that.
okay, and then before I start painting, I thought I would share with you a little video I made of what I did in my sketchbook this week.
Okay,
Be
sounds
okay.
good to me. Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and share it.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me were meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Okay, that was it.
I really liked it. Is it the Gilmore Girls? It kind of looks like them.
Yeah, you know me. Yeah,
But,
that's
I mean,
what it
it
was.
does really actually. It looks a lot like them. Like I think you got the features pretty good.
Yeah, I have all the. There's this lady that I started watching. She's British, and she has what she calls a mood board. And on her mood board, she has all these. It's basically collage where she pasted all these different pictures. So if she doesn't know what to paint on a particular day, she just wants to start painting. She can look at her mood board and she just paints from that. So I got myself this. Oh, it's a little sketchbook.
Oh,
It looks like it comes like this, it's shrink wrapped, but then when I start painting with it, I have to do this because otherwise it will, start to deform or, it won't close or it won't open or whatever. And this was a landscape I was trying to do with cattle in that.
I did see the cow one. That was really cool. I liked it.
Yeah. So anyway, what happens is I'll go. I have like 5 minutes to work on something, or 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, and I don't have time to think of what to paint. And so I will just look on my phone images that I picked up from a long time ago. And
Mhm.
there's this one image from Gilmore Girls, so I painted it a lot of times.
But I like that it's kind of like your version of like a mood board in a way, like something that you go to that you enjoy painting or drawing, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it's not that I always want to paint Gilmore Girls. It's just that was there, and I thought, well, let's see what it looks like in a tiny, tiny little sketchbook.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool. I
so,
like it.
yeah. So in this case, I did use pen and ink before I added watercolor because when it's that small, it's really hard to get the details right otherwise.
Yeah, but it also makes it mixed media, so that's kind of interesting. That gives a new element to it, I think, a little bit more texture.
Yeah, I'm really I'm tempted to go back on that watercolor with the cattle and go back with a pen and make the outline of the cattle a little bit better. I don't know. I mean, I could ruin it, but
Or
it
if
could
you want to do
say it
another
better.
one, you could always do another one where you do that too. Because I know, it's up to you.
Yeah, but then, the other one is not going to be any what I'm saying is when you go toward a painting that you've already done,
Hmm.
then and you add an element, it may work, it may not work, it might ruin it, might make it better. If I did another one that was just watercolor and then I went with pen, same thing, it's the same risk, right?
Yeah, same risk. Unless you do a variation. Sometimes I've done variations. It's like the same idea, but slightly different angle. That
Yeah,
makes
no,
yeah.
I've done that, probably sometime this week I will have a vlog come out of all the different attempts that I made at painting the cattle in that landscape, none of which were satisfactory to me, but I'm trying to learn.
I mean, maybe it's a year of painting cattle. I don't know, because here's the thing: like, you do portraits all the time, so it's like almost like you're just starting with the landscapes for the first time in a long time. And the cattle, sometimes you just need practice until you get it the way you like.
Uh, yeah, I mean, if I were doing a portrait of cattle, it would be different.
Well, maybe you should
Uh,
do a
but
portrait of cattle. Maybe that's what you need to do.
but in a landscape, what you're really doing is a silhouette, which is different. So maybe I need to practice silhouette.
Yeah, silhouette. Also with landscape, I feel like the negative space, like just some of the shapes, like it's a silhouette, of course, but just like, what do they look like? Do they look like something else? I don't know. Like, that's how my mind kind of thinks about it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually did another one. I'm trying to think where I put it. Um, do you want me to bring it? I can show you the other one.
I would love to see it.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is the one that I did outside today.
Ah, I like it.
And it's acrylic. It's acrylic and the tempera paint. So
I kind of like it. It almost feels like there's like some movement to it. Like, I can almost visualize the cow
yeah,
moving. I do like that.
yeah, because I took a still from a video and the cow was moving its tail and the tail was going up. And that's what I was trying to get at over here. This
And
was
also
actually, yeah.
the clouds, like, I feel like there's something about them. Like, I can feel the movement of the clouds too.
Yeah, I actually think I made some progress in I think this is starting to look more like a landscape,
It
but in
is.
the foreground, it's missing something, but I don't know what exactly. Like the grass can't be this, smooth, for instance.
Yeah, of course. Unless it was, I don't know, on a set or something.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I've been doing. It's just hard for me to figure out what to put into a vlog and what to leave out, you know.
Yeah, I wish I updated my blogs more, but to be honest with you, like, if I'm gonna do art and maybe occasional YouTube, I'm finding it hard to like just update the blogs. I would like to, but it's kind of a time commitment. But they're very beautiful and I do love reading them.
Yeah, no, I was talking about a vlog, with a V.
Oh, vlog. I'm sorry, vlog. Yeah, that makes
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I'm trying to create kind of a cozy kind of mood for those vlogs, but at the same time, keep it about art.
yeah. I think that's a good mix or a good balance.
So anyway, now I'll go ahead and try to get my camera in
Okay.
so that I can do
Yeah.
the painting.
Yeah, we can do that. It's fun. It'll be fun to see what you might. It's always a surprise. I always surprises us like with cool stuff. I'm kind of not happy with the mouth because I feel like it looks like my mouth, but I feel like it's the angle isn't right. I don't know. It's just annoying me tonight.
I mean, are you looking at a particular image
Yeah,
of your mouth?
yeah, it's this, but I don't think it's quite right. It's hard to see though. See, I just feel like the mouth doesn't look quite right. I'm still messing around with it.
Okay, I think your face is kind of longer than, and you made it a little bit rounder. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
If
that's
you look,
yeah, I do kind of think that too. Yeah, maybe that's what's messing it up. I kind of thought that.
it's a relationship of everything. It's not your mouth. You can't just do your mouth. It's what your mouth looks like in relation to how you did your nose and eyes. That's what helps to capture the image of that person's face, whatever the person is.
Yeah, but I do think it looks a little too round. I was kind of noticing that. I'd have to redo a lot of it. Yikes. I think I might throw it off more.
Yeah, you don't have to redo a lot. You just kind of, what I do is as I try to get it closer to what it should be. You can never get it completely right anyway I can't, but you just make it a little bit closer. That's all to what it should be.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's a good point.
Now I have to go back and try to get in there. And I need to totally mute myself if I want to not cause a feedback.
The sound is such an interesting, delicate thing. I was hearing something about sound mixing. I was listening to that the other day. It's very always interesting discussion. It's very much an art and a science.
Yeah, well, visual stuff is also like that, really, if you think about it.
It definitely is. That's why, okay, there's certain movies, okay, they might have elements, and I'm like, oh, I don't love the plot. But then what I might like about the movie is, oh, the cinematography, like it's really beautiful. And the way they filmed it in the countryside in a certain place that might not even look that way anymore. Because in the last 20 years, it's been more industrial. Like, those are like kind of the things I like about movies sometimes. And that's
Mhm.
kind of what I think might be interesting about where the Crawdads sing. I didn't know that there was an art element, but now that you told me about that, I feel a little bit more interested in the movie than I would have been.
Yeah, I had no idea what it was going to be. There's a bunch of reasons to want to see it. For one thing, there's an original song that was composed for that movie.
Oh, okay.
I guess a Taylor Swift singing it. I'm not sure if she wrote it. Maybe she did. Um, it doesn't really play until the very end of the movie, though, because it kind of tells the story.
Interesting. Okay. You know, actually one of the things, even though the Magnificent Century series are kind of like way out there, one of the really beautiful things I do love about that series is the music, like the soundtrack that goes with it. And something I've become very addicted to doing is just listening to that soundtrack because it's a little bit of everything. It's classical, there's some Near East instruments, there's some modern it's interesting. It's a very interesting balance. There's a Greek
Mhm.
song on the Cosm one that's a very beautiful.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
So even if you never watch the series, I kind of recommend listening to some of the songs on the soundtrack. It's very some of them are very rousing. It's kind of fun. Like sometimes when I'm walking, I'll start listening to it, but not with headphones. I kind of just play it to myself on the speaker.
Oh, okay. That sounds nice. I like listening to music. I've been listening to Leslie Fish's new album. You know, she has a new one out, and it's very good. And I especially like her song "Four Tall Trees."
Oh wow. Are you gonna do a listening reaction video to any of her songs? Like I know that's a thing.
Uh, well, I've been talking to Eli, who is her music publisher, and
Mhm.
he would like me to host another folk sing. Now, I don't want to have a folk sing unless Leslie wants to have a folk sing. So we have to ask her first. And I wanted Eli to come on too, to tell about his story, his part in bringing this recording to life.
Okay, that might be interesting. I hope Leslie can attend or she would want to do it.
Yes, well, only if she does want to do it will we do it.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's her project,
Yes,
so
yes, absolutely. But I'm waiting on Eli because he said he won't be able to decide on a date until next week.
okay. But it's something to look forward to, I think.
Yes, definitely. That song is so catchy that, I listen to it all the time.
Did they put like a sample of it on YouTube or like on their
Yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. It's Prometheus Music is
okay.
the music publisher, and you could just look for it. And
All right.
I think they get revenue from it playing. So
Okay. I mean that's probably what I would do because I'm gonna be honest, like I do occasionally buy music, but not too often. I just like go to official websites. Like I always go to the official one, usually
mhm,
and listen to that.
yes,
I still have CDs. I just haven't been moved to buy one recently.
I understand most people don't anymore. I think that's part of the problem. I bought it because I am, a dyed in the wool fan, but I think not as many people as they hoped have been buying it because everybody likes to stream it.
Yeah. I mean, I do know some people that are younger people and they do love records and they do still love CDs, but it's not going to be like the majority of people. I mean, what she probably needs is like for somebody, which would probably help her, I don't know, is if her song could trend. Like there's interesting things, like some older songs are coming back that were maybe popular, but not super popular like 30 years ago. So that might be a coup for her. She could get one of her songs to become a trending thing or something. I don't know. Maybe it gets some sales.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Something needs to give. Yes. It's just very hard because she's been in the music business for many, many years and she had many fans. And I'm just afraid that many of them have died. And that's the reason why.
I mean that can happen because I mean people do age and but the hope is maybe she will resonate with some younger people that will discover her songs.
Yes, that's certainly the hope.
I saw the replay some of your build content on Friday, it looks like you did pretty good. Like you're getting an audience, so people are interested. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I've been having all sorts of technical difficulties, so I had prepared a video I wanted to play, and that didn't work out. But I mean, the show went on, and we still had a good show.
That's good. I mean, I think considering, I think it's doing well. I do.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna
Oh,
paint the turtle.
huh?
I said you're painting that turtle photograph you took.
Yes, yes, that's what I'm doing. See, I'm inspired by where the Crawdads sing. She would do this kind of thing.
So if you got one thing out of the movie, it kind of inspired maybe to look at a artist that inspired the show and to give you ideas about what you could do
Yeah,
with your own land. That's really neat.
yeah. I mean, they made it sound as though being an artist is just so easy and all that. Um, but that was really the amazing part of the whole story to me.
I mean, yeah, I that's to me visually that would be what I think I would see. Like I always like visual aspects or details, and then some people are like, "Oh, like I didn't really see that. I was thinking about the action scene." So I guess there's a little bit of something for everybody, but if you're into art, there's definitely a lot of interest in finding the art in movies and like why did they pick this artist and what does that play into the story?
Yes. So it was really easy to identify with that part of it for me.
But now maybe it'll make you start, like you said, looking for it in other movies that you have seen and where you've talked about it before, but maybe you can do a deeper dive. I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to. I have to think back on all the movies I ever saw that had artists in them, you know.
One of the things, well, I sometimes just like the cinematography in movies or like the location, or sometimes like in a movie, I might not really like the plot, like I said, but there can be something about like the fashion from the time period and how people dress. Like I'm very, like I said, I don't really love certain aspects of Last Tango in Paris, but what I'm mesmerized with is hearing people speak French. Like I like people, Parisian people, the fashion from like the early 70s, seeing some of the cities, sites that are going to be a little bit different now. Like sometimes
Hmm.
those are the things I get out of a movie, like more than the
Hmm.
plot.
Yeah, that's true. They used to have much better cinematography, you know, like Dr. Zhivago or Lawrence of Arabia. Those had really great scenes.
They really did. Like I will say, like that one movie, The Lover, like it's not on that level, but in the countryside, they had some very beautiful scenes of like Vietnam and just like, and it doesn't, I think parts of it are more built up now where you wouldn't be able to film the way that they did in 1992. So sometimes I just like seeing the scenes where they go out on the boat, on the river, and when they're just walking near the ocean. I like the things like that. Like I'm weird. Like those are the things I like in the movie. Like, and yeah, Dr. Zhivago, really beautiful cinematography for sure.
Yeah. Also, good music. I love the music that goes with those.
Yeah, my mom loved it.
Yeah, I used to have a music box with Laura's theme.
Oh wow. Okay.
just need to find it. Pam Keys could have told me about this turtle, whether it's a male or female, and all about its life history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How old do you think it is, the turtle?
I don't know. I mean, she would tell me something like it's 30 years old or something, but I mean, she knew, and I don't know.
Yeah, I know she knew like certain. I remember they used to bring this turtle into our class, and this is going to sound like the funniest thing, but they wanted us to touch, like to carry the turtle on the bottom, but I was scared to touch the bottom of the turtle. I don't know. There was just something about I don't want to touch the bottom, so I would refuse to pick up the turtle. And I don't know what else. Okay, so this is the teacher's pet. They also wanted us to like clean up after like these rodents and this turtle. They said it was a class project, and I said I'm not going to do that because this is your pet. This is the teacher's pet, and they wanted us to like clean the cage for the pet. So I kind of just refused to do it because I was like, well, this is the teacher's pet. I'm not saying that if other kids don't want to help, but I just didn't. I refuse to be involved with that.
Okay. Well, sometimes they have those pets in the classroom. I don't know whose they are, but the whole class is supposed to be involved in that, and it's supposed to show them how to be kind to animals or whatever. No.
I mean, it can if you like a certain type of animal, and I like turtles, but I didn't want to hold the turtle. That was the thing, and also I didn't want to clean up after like mice because I don't like mice. And so my mom, like, she agreed with me. I was a kid. I said, you know what, I don't want to participate in that, and there were other people that wanted to. So in my opinion, I can see having a class pet, but I think it should be a choice. Like, we should not force certain kids to participate in cleaning up after that pet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my view on it, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, think about it this way. Like, would you, like, if you personally don't want to adopt a turtle as a pet or a rat as a pet, would you want to clean up after it? No. I had a cat, and there's a lot of people that would not want to scoop a litter box. I can tell you that right now. Like my sister, no, she would never want to scoop a litter box, but that doesn't bother me. So I kind of have this view that it's okay to have a class pet, but don't expect every student to participate in like cleaning its cage. Just my thought.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But yeah, the turtle brought back that memory. I remember we had a class turtle.
Well, this is not a pet turtle, and I don't clean up after it.
No, it's a wild turtle. I totally got you.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, it probably came and was attracted by the mess that my chickens and ducks left behind. They're extra food.
Well, it's cool that you have turtles in your area.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
I'd much rather see a wild turtle than have one as a pet. We'll just say that. I just don't want to own a turtle or a rat.
I used to have a hamster.
Okay. Yeah, they were a very popular pet, I remember. I mean, they still probably are.
Well, it was at a time when we lived in an apartment. We couldn't have a dog, That's why.
Okay. I know some people that would have dogs, hamster, guinea pig, rats, lizards. Like, they just love all sorts of. Well, my nephew, he has a snake. He loves his
Oh,
snake.
oh,
Yeah.
what kind? What kind of snake?
I'll have to ask him what kind. I'll ask him. But I just didn't like going to the pet shop to go buy its treats because you have to go to buy the little mice for it. I'd be like, no, no, no.
Oh, well, you shouldn't have to do that. I mean, that's his problem.
No, I went with my sister and him one day. This was a few years back, and I was like, oh,
Oh,
yeah. And then he's like, let me show you how it, and I'm just like, there's certain kinds of pets that are not for me. I just want to, like, if I have actually, I'm going to be honest. I did love having a cat, but right now, just living in an apartment, it's a lot easier not having one because I feel like, yeah, but I understand having a dog in the country. That's fun. Like when they have space, to run around and have fun.
hmm.
But now all the dogs go to Starbucks and they go to Target. And I guess a lot of the dogs just do what the humans do these days. They just go everywhere. And they drink.
How
They drink.
people, yeah, how people just decided that they could do that because, I'm not against it, but how did they all know they can start doing it when it was not allowed just very recently?
I don't know. That's the thing. That's what confused me. And then, okay. And then sometimes it's a problem because in some places there's still rules like it has to be a service animal. And then people get really mad and they're like, but my dog went to the movie theater and nobody cares. My dog went to Target and nobody cares. But a few years back, it was a big deal because I remember there was this really cute teacup chihuahua. I thought it was cute. I'm just like, oh, it is so cute. It's adorable. It's walking around. Well, it's not the customer's fault that the lady who works at the front door didn't see it walk in. So as they were leaving, she made such a big deal about it. But I think that at that point, you didn't see it come in. So I just let it go. But she was so mad. She goes, oh, you can't bring a dog in here. And the lady's like, oh, well, you didn't notice. And then it just became this big thing. And that was only like 10 years ago. But now it's gone the other way where, oh, here's a dog. Like it's pretty acceptable where I live anyway. I don't know about every other part of the country, but where I live right now, like recently, dogs drink puppuccinos at Starbucks, and I didn't know that they were doing that.
I didn't know that they could drink cappuccinos because until recently they said that you can't even give them chocolate and or they'll die immediately,
Yeah,
which I
so
don't.
yeah, I
Is
don't agree with that. I gave my dog chocolate when I was a kid, and it lived to be like 14 years old. So not
Yeah,
every
I
day,
know
but
it's true. I know it's not true. I mean, we've had dogs for years before they invented that line about how a chocolate would kill them.
like, okay, my dog Buster, if I didn't watch the dryer, like if I didn't guard the dryer, oh my gosh, I want a washcloth, I'll stick my head in there. And he was like the Marley and me dog where, oh, drywall, yummy, yummy. Oh, a piece of the fence, no problem. Yum, yum. And he loved apples. So, and look at Marley. Marley ate all sorts of things. So I just don't buy. I know like maybe if you were feeding your dog like a chocolate cake every day, that might be a problem. But eating a little piece of chocolate, I'm not going to panic about that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, chocolate is poison for us too. In a high enough quantity, we would die from it too. But
Yeah, and we shouldn't be eating that much sugar anyway. Like, so if common sense, like if you shouldn't be eating a lot of sugar, maybe the dog shouldn't be eating a lot of sugar. Just common
yeah,
sense. Like, but like those people are like, oh my god, you can't feed a dog an like I remember because when I was a kid, it was no big deal. But all of a sudden, I went to somebody's house and they're like, oh no, 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 you can't. That the dog will die. And I said, well, my dog didn't die. And then it became an argument. Well, how do you know your dog could have been like hospitalized from eating that little piece of candy?
yeah. I mean, there are people who told me that dogs, you know, can't eat um, bones, which is just ridiculous.
Dogs love bones. Okay, my lady dog. I mean, she loved it. We just didn't really want to deal with it. She kept going in the forest and trying to get this old deer leg and chew on it. It was just very gross for us, but she's a predator, and that's what dogs do. That's their natural instinct, especially dogs that are huskies. Very inclined to that. That's what she wanted. She kept going for it, and finally, we had to send it far, far away. So she kept wouldn't bring it to us because it was just kind of disgusting, but not to her. She thought it was
Yeah.
delicious.
Okay, so there's this woman who works in a veterinarian's office, and she said to me, I don't care what your experience is with dogs. And I'm an older person, I have decades of experience with all sorts of different dogs in different countries.
Yes,
Not,
you've had a lot of it.
yeah. And she said, well, I work in a veterinarian's office, and I can tell you that I have seen a dog choked to death on a bone.
Okay,
So I don't
well,
know.
usually they don't. Dogs are pretty adept at knowing what they're doing. Like they have a better sense of bones than like probably a human would. Like maybe a
Yeah.
human shouldn't eat a bone, but I think a dog knows what it's doing. I'm sorry, but is it?
Yeah, it probably depends. And maybe if it was some tiny miniature
Like,
version of a dog.
yeah, that's, but not like a big bone. It's not going to choke on a big giant bone. It's not. It's not even going to fit all the way into his throat. It just wants to like chew on it and gnaw on it, and that's what dogs do. Like, thanks for bringing me a
Yes,
bone.
right. But these people think they're experts, and they're usually much younger than me, but they're so sure of themselves. They think they have
They
all the
think so.
experience.
I don't think that's a healthy thing to do. Like at such a young age, to be so certain without having had some research and life experience, and looking at other cultures and what dogs do in other cultures. Because I can guarantee some people would chuckle if she told them that because they'll know, well, my dog eats bones every day.
Well, I mean, look at the situation with COVID. Um, the gentleman in Israel that I interviewed the other day, his wife is bedridden, and they have a live-in person to help with that.
Mm-hmm.
And the live-in person came down with COVID. And now, they might get it, and they aren't allowed to. I mean, she lives in their house. She comes from a different country, so they can't ask her to leave or go someplace else until she gets better.
Oh,
Um, and now everybody's saying, "Oh, it's no big deal." But remember, 2 years ago, it was such a big deal.
oh yeah, it was actually. No, my sister and I were talking about that last night because they said it's over. So basically, now I guess what they were kind of saying is if you get sick, like you're not gonna be able to get like payments for taking days off work, which I don't know, like they're not
Yeah,
going to do certain things
they're
anymore.
saying it's okay for you to come to work and make everybody else sick. And
Yeah,
my attitude was never that everybody needed to be quarantined. My attitude was that those people who actually came down with the disease should be quarantined until they got better.
yeah, exactly. Or they could have actually did what they said in the beginning is if everybody had stayed home, like everybody for 2 weeks, maybe it would have not spread. I don't know. Like if everybody could have tried to do that, like if we all did it, not just some of us. But actually, everybody did go out. They just all went to the grocery store. True story.
Yeah. But they were told they could, which is why it wasn't a quarantine.
No, it
You
wasn't. Like it didn't make any sense. Like I don't know. Like we were talking about some of this stuff yesterday. None of it made any sense.
know,
But
so I
now,
mean,
what are they going to do? That's not good for them.
no, they have not. They just have to sit it out. I mean, she lives in their house. She goes to the kitchen. She cooks meals there. There's nothing they can do about it, and they're just being philosophical about it.
Okay, I understand. It's hard. It's a very
Yeah,
hard, difficult situation.
yeah. No, it's just that the public attitude toward it is what I don't understand. I've always thought that when people were sick, they should take time off.
Of course. Yeah, no, people shouldn't be going places when they're sick. I mean, that's common sense. But honestly, like I've noticed like people are at the stores and they're coughing, they're not even trying to cover their mouth. just coffee in
Yeah.
the air. And I think if you're like that sick, maybe you shouldn't be going out. But that's just always been my view. Think, wouldn't you be worried that you're gonna like spread whatever you have to other people?
Yeah. I would. I would definitely worry about that. And, and it's not even about COVID.
It's
It's
about
any,
anything that can spread.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
That's how I feel about it.
it just makes me feel like, okay, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I like to go to Costco, but I don't want to go on a Sunday again 'cause it's really crowded. And yeah, sometimes that, and we were kind of agreeing about that with my parents. I'm like, it's just way too crowded on a Sunday.
Yeah, well, I always try to avoid the crowds no matter what.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
why I don't like to go to amusement parks because there usually are crowds.
oh, they're worse now, I think. And I probably will never go to one again because I'm not going to pay $170 to go to an amusement park to stand in line to go on what, 4 rides? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like I'm kind of over it too. Like if I want to do something, I'd rather go walking in nature and maybe paint, like kind of like what you're doing. That seems more peaceful to me.
Yeah, that's what I love doing. They tell us that we're supposed to exercise gratitude and all. And I was never one of those people who did the psychobabble and all that. But
Yeah.
lately, I've been actually genuinely feeling gratitude every time I go for a walk.
But I like the way that you're doing it because it's just innate. It's just like it comes from within. It's like something you're inclined to do. I think that's more authentic. I like that. You know,
Yeah, yeah. And I think just as I get older, I realize that, I used to always focus on the stuff that I didn't have or what I didn't achieve or whatever. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'm pretty lucky, you know?
no, you are. I mean, you live in a really beautiful place. You see turtles, you see your chickens, cattle. I mean, you see a lot of deer. You see a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And I love it. And I don't even think I want more acres. I like exactly what I have.
I mean, it's easier this way because if you had more, it would be more that you have to maintain. So sometimes what you can maintain is wonderful, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciating what we have instead of like, not that we
Mhm.
can't want more, but sometimes maybe we don't think about what does more entail.
Yeah. Oh, we have somebody said something. I don't know if it was recent or not, but
Let's see.
Emma
Oh,
Louise
oh
says,
yeah.
"Oh
It
yeah,
looks like you just said, yeah, I was just right now a couple minutes ago. Hi.
okay. Well, hello. Are you an artist too?
I
Are
don't
you?
have
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I don't have any acres. I'm not going to be grateful for no acres. Okay. Well, you can't be grateful for what you don't have. So I
yeah,
guess we can only be grateful for whatever it is that we have.
but when people move out to a more rural area, it's more affordable to live there, so it's more plausible. Like my nephew and his girlfriend, they bought a house and they're very young and they bought it, they're fixing it up, but that's possible in some places still.
Okay. So she says, I paint, but it's not my identity. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, Julia, is your painting your identity? How
No,
do you
I
feel?
mean, I love to paint, but it's not my identity. It's just something that I do because I feel like drawn to it. It's a
Yeah.
part. I've never been defined by one thing. I do a lot of things. I love history. I love reading. I love art. But I'm very multifaceted, and I can't be a niche of anything really.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's certainly not my identity. So if somebody asked me, what are you? Probably a painter is not the first thing I would think of, you know?
Maybe a linguist, maybe a writer. Like that's kind of what when I
Yeah.
I don't know like how you define yourself, but I always think of you as like a linguist, writer
Yeah.
first.
I guess I think of myself as a person first and then all those other things.
Okay, I mean that's fair, right? I guess is it weird? Like sometimes I always think of like the vocation. I'm very like always vocation driven in my
Yeah.
mindset. Why?
Oh, gamer is an identity. Are you a
Okay,
gamer?
no, yeah,
Are
that's
you
right.
a gamer? My daughter's a gamer.
That's cool.
Yeah. What kind of games do you play? There are all these different niches. So my daughter likes to play cozy life simulations. But there are other people who like to do battle games or I don't know. No answer so far.
Okay. I mean, I don't think one particular thing can be our identity. I think our identity, that's one thing I always hated about the definition. Like, I wear many different hats. Like, when people would say wife, mother, daughter, sister, I never really liked that because I'm like, why can't you? That's where I say I'm a person. That's where I'm going to say I'm a person. You know what I'm saying? Where people say, oh, I'm this.
Okay.
I'm an overthinker. Oh my gosh, I overthink everything in my life. That is my personality. I totally get it.
Well, Cozy Life Simulation is a game where you go in and you kind of get to set up the universe where your characters live, and maybe you build houses for them and you arrange their life for them. And it's cozy because there's not a lot of conflict.
Yeah, I kind of like that idea for a game, right? It's a peaceful game.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you like the turtle. I'm pretty happy with it. What do you think, Julie?
I think it turned out really good. I like the speckling. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I probably didn't get the marks completely right. That's where, Pam Keys would know exactly everything about it. This is supposed to be a box turtle, but I don't know if it's male or female, and I don't know what the markings really mean.
But it's interesting. I mean, I just like the artistic element of the speckles on the turtle.
Yeah, yeah, there is a lot of artistry to it. It's almost as if the turtle decided to decorate itself.
I know.
Oh, okay. Winter is coming soon. There needs to be a game that involves tea and fireplaces. Well, some of those games really do revolve around seasons. You can choose whether you want it to be winter, spring, fall, or summer.
I wonder if there's a cottagecore game that's kind of like that, where they probably like build a cute, cozy house and have the tea. I would think.
Yeah, actually, my daughter does play a game where they can do all of that. And thank you so much. Thank you for saying that about the turtle's face. I usually focus on faces. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, you get the portraits. It's fun. It's expressive.
Yeah.
From under the tea key.
Yeah.
You can get a little Q-tip or I don't vacuum my keyboard, honestly. I just go, oh, dee, 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 and it falls out.
Yeah. I do have a new vacuum cleaner for little things.
Oh my gosh, I have a funny story. My sister said, I got this thing in the mail. The car dealership, they said I won a prize. I said, Rihanna, that's a scam. They're going to try and sell you a car. She goes, no. I won a prize. We have to go. She goes, how do we get there? So I showed her how to get to the Redlands Jeep Cherokee car dealership. And when she went in, there were 6 car salesmen and they were all descending upon her. I said, see, they're going to try and sell you a car. She goes, I won a prize. And they're like, oh, the prize lady's gone. And they tried to sell her a car. And as she was walking away, the guy was running with his card trying to sell her a car. Oh my God. It's pretty funny.
Well, I can't believe your sister was that naive. I thought she was the worldly one, right?
She's worldly in a lot of ways, but she was naive when it came to that.
Okay.
I don't know why she fell for that, though, of all things, but I think it has something to do with her boyfriend saying that, oh, I think you won a prize. I'm like, that. No. But they finally believed me after. So anyway.
Yeah. She says, running after her. So, Yeah, go ahead.
I said I do like how the painting turned out. It's very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Emma, have you seen or the movie or read the book where the Crawdads sing? I was just wondering. Anyway, next time we'll be on your channel
Yeah, at
and
7:30, 9:30.
uh well, I mean next Sunday at 1 o'clock or at
You want
9:30.
to do it in the okay? We can do it in the morning. I didn't know if you wanted to do an evening one. Okay, we'll do it in the morning for that.
No, whichever you think would be best for the viewers.
We'll do 1:30, 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm pretty much done with mine. Do you want to show me yours?
Well, I haven't done much. I was kind of just talking and watching you more this time because I'm working on the mouth and I kind of changed a couple things, but I didn't do much at all.
Okay. Well, it's very nice. I like it.
I mean, I like it, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, I just wanted. I know I could have gone back and changed things, but I just don't want to go that.
No, 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 no. I don't want you erasing anything. It's very good the way it is.
Yeah, but it's something I can do for next time to try and get like the proportions to make it look more like me.
Yeah, no, Julia, I don't actually think you have to worry so much about proportion. What you need is relationships between the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. That isn't really proportion. You know what I'm saying?
But like my mouth, like the relationship. I don't think it's exactly like my mouth. I'll be honest with you. It's just what it is. I'm just gonna go with it.
Okay, we have a response from Emma. So I heard of this title. It's all over, though I've not read the book. I assumed it was politically related book, and I'm sort of a political weirdo. Where the Crawdad sings. I heard the title. I don't know the plot summary. I figured it was a post George Floyd era thing.
I don't think it is. No, I don't think it's that. I think the book came out in 2018. So in the story that they think it's much before that, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think so. What you might think is that there might be something to do with the Me Too movement in it, but I'm not going to give it away because I'm going to review it on Julia's channel. Julia, do you want to tell her what your channel is called?
So my channel is called California Art and Mountain Life, and you can come at 1 o'clock next Sunday, and Aya will be telling us exactly, her thoughts on the movie then.
Okay. All right. So for now, I think this is a good time to say good night.
Good night, everybody, and I love all the comments, and it was very interesting.
Okay. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.